Hi everyone, so today we're going to make this card for Christmas using a new die set and stamp set by Waffle Flower. This is the pull tab tree bundle, and we are going to pair that with some specialty papers by Tonic. We're going to make our Christmas tree pop up out of this evergreen fir specialty paper by Tonic. It's really pretty olive green, kind of shiny, and it is going to look just beautiful when we're done with it. So for the base of the tree, we're going to get out our Waffle Flower dies, and this is the die that's the base of the tree. And there's also an insert to add the branches of the tree, which is Post-it taped to the middle. And then the other piece on the side is the pull tab mechanism that we'll get to a little bit later to make the tree go from flat to 3D to popping up on top of the card. So I'm just popping out these little spots here. Those are the places where the branches are going to ultimately go. There are a number of score lines on the paper that the die imprints, and you're just going to fold all of those inwards, so, or backwards is another way to think of it. And all of the folds for these dies are going to go towards the back, with the exception of one that we'll get to later on the pull tab. I paused the video here because I wanted you to see that I'm about to cut off the tab on the right side of the Christmas tree. There's a tab on the right side and on the left side in the same spot. Because our pull tab is going to attach on the left side, I don't need this tab on the right side, so that's why I'm cutting it off. You could also have your pull tab go the opposite way, and if you wanted it, you would just cut off the other tab. But for now, we're going to have our tab starting on the left side and then coming out through the right side. Now I am just folding all of the edges, the score lines, and I'm using my bone folder to go over that to get like a nice crisp fold. At least one of the trees I didn't use a bone folder and it came out fine, so I think it's just a matter of choice if you want to use that. Now I'm putting score tape on the Christmas tree, and the thing to remember here is that there are going to be 3 panels that you add score tape to, and you're going to put the score tape on the front side of the panel. They're going to be folded towards the back, so it'll touch the back of the card, but just remember the 3 panels where you're adding score tape, it's on the front. This is the piece that folds to the front that I was talking about. So you saw how I just folded the little slot towards the front, and then the tab I folded towards the back. I am now working on the pull tab mechanism, and I'm adding score tape to the back side of the tab. Now I am going to take off the score tape just from the spot where we're going to attach the pull tab, and I'm going to stick the pull tab right on there. I'm just showing you how to attach the second part of the pull tab to make the pull tab mechanism work. It's kind of difficult to explain, and I don't think you really understand it until you have it in your hands. So I think the best thing to do is just watch what I'm doing, and then maybe when you're making your own, play this part of the video if you're confused, and just have your hands follow my hands while you're doing it, and it'll make sense. It makes sense while you're doing it. For me, I watched 2 different videos on this before making it, and it was kind of hard for me to follow along, but then once I had my own in my hand and I followed along with the videos, then it made perfect sense. And then once I did it, I was able to duplicate it. Would I be able to duplicate it a week from now without kind of going back and relearning how to do it? Probably not. So that's another reason why I thought it would be a good idea to make this video, just so that this is one of those dies that it's a little bit difficult to use. So you're probably always going to need some instructions in front of you when you're using it. Now we're going to work on the petals. This is a nice, easy part. I am just taking the petals to the tree or the leaves to the tree, the branches, however you want to look at it. And I'm just putting them on top of my Tonic specialty paper. I'm not worried about the direction because I think it's all going to end up looking okay. I just don't want to waste the paper, so that's why I'm trying to be careful to get the little petals as close to each other as possible. Now I'm just going to add some Post-it tape to hold them in place, but this is Post-it tape I've used maybe 3 or 4 times, so it's not that sticky. Otherwise I might tear the Tonic paper if I use fresh Post-it tape, because it's very it's fragile paper. It's beautiful, but it's very pliable and fragile. So now I am just kind of getting all my petals together. The one thing about this die set is that you only need one of each, except for the large petals on the sides of the tree. You'll need 2 of those, and so that's why I just cut out those extra 2 petals. So here I'm just showing you what the layout to the tree is, and because the Tonic paper is very delicate, I decided to just take cardstock and cut the cardstock pieces out too, and then just adhere the Tonic specialty paper on top of the cardstock so that it would be sturdier in the tree. Later on, I went and tried another tree without backing the Tonic specialty paper, and it worked fine. So I think either way is okay. It's just if you want a stiffer looking tree, then definitely back it with some cardstock. If you are okay with the petals being more pliable, then don't worry about it. So now I am just bending in the tab where we are going to attach this to the tree itself. And the way that you attach the petals is important. You need to start from the bottom and work your way to the top. And you need to start from the sides and then put in the middle in each row at the end. So here I put on the right bottom first. Now we're going to put on the left bottom, and I'm just going to stick the little tabs in and then make sure that they are kind of anchored in there on the back side. I'm using a tweezer to help me. And then since we have both of the sides, now it's time to put on the big bottom middle petal. So that's what I'm doing there. And I left all of this in just because it can be a little bit confusing as to which petal goes where, and you really do need to get it exact, otherwise the tree petals won't fall right. So I am working on the second row now and doing the same thing that I had done before, working from side to side, and then with the middle coming after that, using my tweezers to help me fit the little anchor into the back of the tree. So I'm only going to show you how to make this one tree, but there are 3 different versions, and they all use the different Tonic specialty papers. We have the pretty silver tree, we have a gold tree, and then we have a white snowy tree that I also added some tumbled glass distress ink to the bottoms of the petals for that. And then each of the cards also has a backdrop die by Lawn Fawn. So one, I used the new snowy backdrop. For the silver card, I used the swirly swirl backdrop for the tumbled glass and white card. And then I used I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like a pretty little lacy pattern. I think that was part of the spring release in 2018 this year, and that goes along with the gold card. All right, so now it is time to attach our pull tab mechanism to the card, and I am going to just take the adhesive off of the one tab. That's all we're going to adhere for right now. I'm going to make sure it fits into the slot on the other side. Now we're going to attach the top of the tree together. And so I just folded the side of the Christmas tree that doesn't have adhesive on top of the side that does. I'm adding a little gold star. This is also included in the Waffle Flower die kit. And I'm just trying to figure out what the layout to my card is. And That's where I kind of broke out the Lawn Fawn background dye and some more Tonic specialty paper in gold satin or golden satin. And I'm just punching out the little holes that kind of the dye machine couldn't get to. And we're going to attach the whole thing onto an A2 size card base, and I'm using a cream colored cardstock. I think this is by Lawn Fawn. And we're going to attach the Christmas tree right onto the card base, and we're going to take off our last parts of adhesive, which is the adhesive that's on the bottom part of the tree. This is going to stick right onto the card base. And I'm just working my way through that. I added a cream colored star over the gold star because I just felt that it didn't stand out enough on the gold background. And I'm attaching the tree to the back of the card. Looks good. This is what it looks like flat. If you were to mail this, I think you could mail it. It'll fit in a regular size envelope. And then when your recipient opens it, they can pull the tab and then stick it into there's a little slot to stick the tab in to make the card the Christmas tree stay popped open, I guess is the way to say it. And that's what I did there. So this is our little 3-dimensional Christmas tree using the Waffle Flower pull tab set. I hope you like this card and the other 2 that we made tonight. I hope you give this a try. It's a little bit challenging, but if you block off a couple hours of quiet time, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this die set. I know I did, and I just kind of wanted to keep making more and more Christmas trees, and I probably will make a few more. So have a great weekend, everybody, or week, depending on when you're tuning in, and I will see you again in the next video.